Written and directed by Harmony Korine, Trash Humpers is an experimental black comedy found footage horror film that was released in 2009. The film is entirely shot on VHS and follows the four Trash Humpers, a group of elderly people, as they do random acts of vandalism, murder, peep windows, and of course, hump trash bins. And that's basically it for the plot. As the director Harmony Korine stated, "You saw the trailer, you saw the name, it's exactly what it is about." He is not trying to fool anyone into watching this film. The idea for the film came when Korine would walk his dog late at night in the back alleys of Nashville. He said that the way the lights beamed down upon the trash bins almost resembled humans. The film idea also came from a childhood memory of Korine's, where a group of three men, which included an elderly man from a retirement home, would escape their home and peep on Korine's pretty next-door neighbor. This memory of these men creeped him out as a child. So he used this experience and the previous visual aspect of seeing the trash bins resemble humans to create this film. Additionally, Korine was dissatisfied with the production of his last film, Mr. Lonely, which was his biggest project and most frustrating because of the bureaucracy in making it. The making of Trash Humpers was to make something more free and experimental. I wouldn't say there was really any controversy in this. I tried to find out if there were any walkouts when the film premiered, but I couldn't find anything concrete outside of Korine warning the audience that if they were to walk out, they should not be mad as they got a fair warning before watching the film. The film garnered a mixed reception. It seems half the people who reviewed this film appreciate what Korine was attempting to do with this project, and the other side thinks this film is pure trash and one of the worst films they've seen, which is kind of funny to me because I bet most of the people that gave this film a truly negative review either never really actually watched the film or ignored Korine's warning and still watched it as a film they knew was not going to be something like they would be into. Although, to attempt to get into the mindset of someone who truly despises this film, I watched the trailer again. So essentially the trailer gives a general idea of what the film contains, such as, obviously the humping of trash, vandalism, overall nonsense, the weird atmosphere, I guess, the uncanny weird atmosphere, and the weird ass prostitute scene, I guess. But what it doesn't show is the murders and the truly disturbing scene where one of the trash humper behind the camera that holds the camera finds a naked dead body near a river. It kind of lasts long, and he's singing over it. It's so bizarre and disturbing. Yeah, but I think that's a good example of horror of the film. Anyways, so in a way, I could sort of see how someone who is given a fair warning could still be caught off guard, especially with that scene in the film. But I don't know. I feel as though with the trailer and the name Trash Humpers, you should expect total depravity. No rules or whatever. I'd say this is a tough question to answer in regards to this film. I don't think it's a masterpiece or anything like that, so I think it's better to say that I appreciate this film, that it exists. I truly believe that there is a place in cinema for films like this. I really don't understand the complaints that there is nothing of value or artistic merit with Trash Humpers. I think Korine said it the best in the fact that he wanted to make an artifact rather than a film, a sort of feeling or experience, as he puts it. So if you go into this without an open mind or without experiencing any other out there films, you're probably going to have a terrible time with this film, I say. There are things I do enjoy in this film, like the boy in the suit, who is generally hilarious to me, is probably the highlight of the film for me. There's a section of the film where it's just footage of liminal spaces, which is really cool and I guess ahead of its time, I'd say. And the VHS aesthetic really adds to the overall disturbing atmosphere, and if it generally feels like you would find this in an alley or a thrift store, and you put it on and you're what the hell is this? Who are these people? And it's just nonsense. But it also feels I guess America's Funniest Home Video, the guy whoever reviews the tapes they get in, I assume this is sort of what they see. They have to shovel through all the nonsense to find something that's funny and not just creepy or disturbing. I generally like this movie as it's it's disturbing, I guess, especially with the suffocation in the body by the river scenes. So in terms of horror, I think it gets the job done. Korean even states that, in the quote, "That's what true horror is. It's so confusing. You just wind up having to laugh nervously." So, it is a comedy, but it is really funny, I think, the movie. But it's like, it's really horrific, I say. But my criticism with the film is in the fact that it gets quite annoying and it feels way too long, even though it's only like 87 minutes. Personally, for me, I think the film could be cut down like 20 minutes and be a better film. But again, I don't know, it kind of defeats the purpose. Being a film is not the purpose of this project. So yeah, I guess, you could throw away that criticism. There are deleted scenes on the Blu-ray, which is pretty much more of the same. Although there is more scenes with the boy in the suit that are just like as funny as the scenes in the film. So check that out if you can. If you're a fan of the film, if not, you're obviously not gonna get anything out of it. So I can't really say I like this movie, but I don't hate it, and I'm glad it exists, and I'm glad it was created, and it's very interesting. I mean, especially considering the fact that I own the Blu-ray. So maybe I'm on the side that I like the film, quote unquote film. The film was edited on VHS decks, which apparently was like kind of a nightmare to do. The kid in the suit was found at 7-Eleven standing on an egg crate holding a plastic snake and quoting Bible verses. What was impressive to Kareen was that the boy had most of the Bible memorized, and he was very easy to work with. So that's pretty interesting and funny, because I really like the scenes with the boy in the suit and just being a maniac. They filmed for 2 weeks, and they would just walk around and see what they could find to shoot. They would even sleep in public spaces. There was no script, as to keep the idea of creating something free and overall experimental. What was most surprising to Kareen was during filming, they didn't get much of a negative reaction with filming. In fact, there was like one time where they were humping trash cans, and a guy came out of his home and asked what they were doing. And they say they were shooting a film, and the guy asked if they wanted him to turn on the porch lights. So it is kind of bizarre that most of the people just ignored them or attempted to help them, because I don't know, if I saw like people humping trash like out in public, like 4 elderly people humping trash, I think I would investigate, or maybe call the police. Maybe they would need help or something. So it's very strange. The girl trash humper was played by Kareen's wife. Kareen obviously played the trash humper behind the camera, and his friends played the other 2 humpers. And a last fact is there was actually a sound person followed them as they shot the film, so that's very interesting. You never really see him, so I guess that's why the audio is kind of not as bad as you expect. So maybe that's why people like just ignore them, because there's like a sound person following them. But yeah, that's essentially Trash Humpers. Like and subscribe. I love you.